Vespasian, also known as Caesar Vespasianus Augustus, was born as Titus Flavius Vespasianus in AD 9 and died AD 79. When the emperor prior to Vespasian, Nero, committed suicide, he left the Roman Empire without an heir. At this point, the top Roman generals turned against each other and fought for the throne. Vespasian was victorious, and the Senate granted him the role as emperor from AD 69 to 79. He was credited for putting the Roman Empire back on track after the chaos that had erupted during and after Nero's rule. Vespasian had served as military commander in Germany and Britain before becoming emperor. He put down the Great Jewish Revolt, destroying both Jerusalem and Masada, with the assistance of his son Titus and 3 legions. Nero's death defined the end of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, and Vespasian's rule started what became known as the Flavian dynasty. Like Augustus, Vespasian relied heavily on propaganda in order to get the people to follow him. To an extent, it worked. He was well liked, and his reign was considered a calm time of peace. In true Roman fashion, one of his first acts as emperor was to restore the morale of the army. He discharged some and punished others for what was known as indulging in excesses. Both acts, in my eyes, do not define a time of peace. Rumor has it that Vespasian held no grudges towards those who had opposed him, and executed none of his enemies, which was odd compared to many who ruled before him. Tacitus, a Roman historian, wrote, Vespasian showed himself master of the situation. He restored Roman prestige and recovered her shattered finances. It was hard that he should be called miser for his pains. However, in order to bring more money into the Roman capital, Vespasian in fact doubled taxes from the provinces. This may seem greedy, and to an extent it may be, but he wasn't completely greedy. Vespasian paid salaries to those who taught Latin and Greek, and gave prizes to poets and artists. Vespasian had many homes and buildings built, but the most important and well-known during Vespasian's time is the Colosseum, also called the Flavian Amphitheater. In fact, the Colosseum was built on top of the palace Nero had built for himself while he was in power. Though the construction of the building was done through the slave labor of captured Jews from Judea, the building itself was done to serve the benefit of the Romans, as opposed to that of Nero's palace, which was for himself. Though the construction of the site started during his rule, Vespasian never got to see it finished in 80 AD. Vespasian died before the construction was complete, so his son and heir Titus opened the Colosseum when it was completed. Many shows were displayed here, including fights between men between animals, executions, and even naval ship battles. In our day, Vespasian would be considered a dictator. He would create jobs and provide money to his people through his many building projects, and would be admired for that. However, I question whether Vespasian would allow gladiator games simply because they are not only outdated, but are considered outrageously cruel in our day. I do see him putting emphasis on the military, as many leaders around the world continue to do. He would use his military to frighten his enemies and control his population. In fact, I see how he could gain power and popularity through his position in the military today, much like he did during his time.